Method 4, cross multiplication. The cross multiplication method is useful when you are factoring trinomials, but finding common factors or polynomial formulas aren't applicable. When cross multiplying to find the factorization, first find two terms that have a product equal to the quadratic term of the expression. Put those terms on top of each other on the left side. Then find two terms that have a product equal to the constant term of the expression. Put those terms on top of each other on the right side. The sum of the product of the two diagonal terms should be equal to the linear term of the original expression. The factorization would be the sum of the two terms in the top row multiplied by the sum of the two terms in the bottom row. Example 1. Factor x squared minus 7x plus 12. So the only thing that can make up x squared is x times x. So we draw a cross and we have x and x on top of each other on the left side. And now we need two constants that have a product of 12 on the right side. So we need the first constant here and the second constant here. And the product needs to be 12, positive 12. So these are all the two integers that have a product of 12. So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and negative 1 times negative 12, negative 2 times negative 6, and negative 5 times 4, 3 times negative 4. And these constants also need to have a sum of negative 7, which is this term, when multiplied by the two x's. So if this was the first constant over here, this constant times x, plus this constant, the second constant times the diagonal x, needs to be equal to negative 7x. So let's try negative 3 and negative 4 since it has a product of a sum of negative 7. So if we have negative 3 here and negative 4 over here, then negative 4 times x plus negative 3 times x is equal to negative 7x. So this is how you use cross multiplication. So if we have to factor it, it would be the top, which is x plus negative 3, which is x minus 3. So the expression is equal to x minus 3 times the bottom two, which is x plus negative 4, which is x minus 4. So it's x minus 3 times x minus 4. Example 2. Factor negative x squared y plus 6xy minus 8y. So this expression is equal to negative y times x squared minus 6x plus 8, because these terms all have a common factor of negative y. So if we try to factor the inside of this, it becomes negative y times x minus 2 times x minus 4, because if we look at this expression, so this is the cross multiplication, so it's x squared, so it has to be x and x on the left side, and then we need two numbers that have a product of negative 8, and when it's multiplied by each of the x's, it's negative 6. So negative 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, and over here, x times x is x squared on the left side, and when we do the diagonals and have the sum, it's these two, negative 2 and x makes negative 2x, and negative 4 and x makes negative 4x, and when we add it up, it's equal to negative 6x, which is what we want. So then if we put these together, it's x minus 2 times x minus 4. So this expression, x squared minus 6x plus 8, is x times 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 4, and we have to multiply it by negative y. Example 3. Factor 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. So 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 is equal to 2x plus 1 times x plus 3, because if we use cross multiplication to prove it, so the quadratic term is 2x squared, so we need two numbers on the left side that have a product of 2x squared, so that has to be 2x and x if we want integers. So 2x times x is equal to 2x squared. And on the right side, we need two numbers that have a product of positive 3. So we can have 1 times 3, or we could have -1 times -3. But for this, when we do the diagonals, the product of each of the diagonals, and we add those up, it has to be positive 7x. So that means it has to be 1 and 3. And we have to arrange it so that when we do that, it has to be 7x. So if we had 3 over here and 1 over here, it wouldn't add up to 7x. So only if it's like this, it would work. So if we see here's x and here's 1, and when we multiply x and 1, it's equal to x, and here's 3 and here's 2x, and if we multiply 3 and 2x, the product is 6x. We have to add these up, so x plus 6x is equal to 7x. So then the final factorization is 2x plus 1 times x plus 3.